Vamos, brothers, this is your boy JT, and welcome back to another episode of South Stand Signings, the series. Of course, we go through everything happening in and around the world of Leeds United. And we have a little talk about it. And boy, it has been a hot minuto because there wasn't a lot of transfer action. I'm going to be real with you. I'm not just here to make a video about nothing, but today, there is a lot to get on. Nashes dug into fresh off of a beautiful annihilation of Chelsea FC on the weekend. Leeds are ready to hit the transfer market and flesh out that squad before the start of the new season. But before we do get into all of that, if you could help support me, support you, and subscribe, tick that notification bell so you don't miss out on any future content. We are moonwalking our way over to 4,000 subscribers, trying to hit it before the end of the month. So, if you can do that, that'd be very much appreciated. But for now, let's not waste any more time. Let's go straight into the meat of the action. And the first story coming out of Leeds United is finally regarding that beautiful source demon of a home kit. I know you've all been absolutely gagging to get your hands on it. Well, don't worry, you have to gag no longer because Leeds United finally confirmed the general sale date of the new home strip. And guess what? By the time you're watching this video, if you are watching it early enough in the morning, hopefully it goes out at 7 a.m, then get yourself over to the store right here, right now, because it is going on sale today, this morning, right now, Wednesday, the 24th of August at shop.leedsunited.com. Obviously, there was a lot of delays because of a lot of things. I mean, there was one of the kits that basically they were sending it overseas and it capsized in the water. There was a lot of problems with alleged places of manufacturing. There was a lot of problems there because of COVID, so it has been delayed, but it has been delayed no longer. So you can get your hands on that as of 9 a.m. Let me know down below if you are going to get the kit, and if you are, let me know who you're putting on the back of it. Alright, I want to see some pictures. Now, one man that I'm definitely going to be getting on one of my shirts this year is this man right here, Senior Firpo. And Leeds apparently can relax in the search for a left back after the Senior Firpo boost. Now, this is not something that would really please a lot of Leeds United fans. They go on to basically talk about Jesse Marsh's comments where he said, maybe at the beginning when Senior got hurt, we weren't sure, but we looked a little bit at least at Leif Davis. We wanted to look at Virgil, and we also wanted to look at Leo Hjeld Class. And I feel like we're covered in this position really well, which is probably not something that a lot of Leeds fans will be happy to hear. Obviously, Stroik playing very well on the weekend, but I mean, attacking-wise, as a fullback, yes, he did pretty well, but is he the answer long-term? If Firpo gets injured, maybe not. However, contradictory to those reports, contradictory to those comments, Leeds United are still showing interest in a number of defenders. And the first defender that Leeds are showing some serious interest in is Chelsea man Trevoh Chalobah. Leeds United have been in contact with Trevoh Chalobah's agents as the Chelsea defender draws Premier League and European interest. According to 90 Minute, they report that on the 23rd of August, the Serie A and Roma, along with Leeds and Everton and Nottingham Forest and Southampton, are all interested in the 23-year-old. It is understood that if Chalobah is to leave Stamford Bridge, it would be on loan. So this would be a loan deal. Is this a deal that you guys are really happy about? Is this a deal that you think would be good for Leeds? I think a loan deal could actually be pretty beneficial if you do look at it, because I don't think Chalobah is someone that's going to long-term improve the squad. I don't think there's any top defenders that we can get at this current moment in time that in a couple of years' time you're probably like, oh, you know what, I actually really want this guy as a part of a team that is going to be battling for Europe or, you know, battling in the Champions League after Leeds win the Premier League this year. So we need to think something short to medium term, I think, when it comes to defender. I think we need someone who's versatile, who can play both centre-half and left-back. And a loan deal isn't something that I'm too mad about, especially for someone young like Trevoh Chalobah, because if he did really develop, then guess what? He would be a very good asset for Leeds United. But there is one man who would be a much better asset, and like I said, he is able to play both as centre-half and at left-back, and it is this man, Japhet Tanganga business, according to expressions, or rather should I say as coined by expressions. I tell you something, a lot of Leeds fans will have a lot of positive facial expressions if Leeds are able to get this man through the door. Now, the first story go on to talk about why there's a potential chance that he may be joining Nottingham Forest over Leeds. He's a £17 million academy ace, and they go on to talk about basically, is he really suitable for Leeds' system? And this is something that you have to really talk about because he spent the majority of his time playing as either a centre-back as part of a back three or as an attacking left wing-back. Obviously, like I said, someone who can fill in both positions like a Struijk. And if we do have serious deficiencies at the back and we do need someone with a little bit more sauce in there, a little bit more charisma at the back, then maybe he could fill in there well. Also, he could play as a backup to senior Firpo. However, Leeds don't really deploy a three at the back that much under Jesse Marsch. So is he really someone who Leeds are going to be going for? Is it someone that somewhere he's going to want to go? Now, I don't know that it's somewhere that he's going to want to go. However, I do think it's somewhere that Tottenham may want him to go. And the reason that I say that is because of this. Tottenham have come out recently with a shock interest for Daniel James. That is right. They are going heavily, all guns blazing podcast style, for extra attacking reinforcements are Tottenham Hotspur. They really want to bolster up that squad depth, and now they're looking at Daniel James, and it's a complete shock because currently he's finding it hard to get into Leeds' starting 11. I mean, to be fair, you're comparing a certain bang-on top four team, title contenders like Leeds, so, you know, maybe he is going to get slightly more game time over at White Hart Lane. But he's not going to win as many trophies, that's for sure. I don't know about this one, though. I don't know. I don't get why the interest is there. I think they're pretty well stocked in the wing position, if you ask me. They've got Son, Kulisovski. They've got Richarlison, who can play up there. They've got Lucas Mourapid, who can play either a wing-back or he can play as part of that front three. They've got a lot of players who can fill in Dan James's position. Maybe there's something that Conte's seeing that Jesse Marsch isn't. I'm not so sure. I would still like to keep him around. I do really like Dan James. I think he offers a lot to the side. I think his physicality is immense, and I do want to see how he develops under a Jesse Marsch system. He could be a very useful player, as we saw in pre-season. I'm not 100% convinced on Leeds selling him. However, this does coincide with the stories that we were talking about before about Leeds bringing in another winger or a striker, and about how it would consist of Leeds, or rather require / hinge on Leeds letting go one of their other players. And the only attacker that really filled that quota was Daniel James, because as we move into the next story, Jack Harrison is definitely not going to be one that Leeds let go. After a £20 million Newcastle bid, Leeds have even further bumped up their price, or their asking price, for Jack Harrison in order to deter people from going after him. And we are now demanding £60 million for Jack Harrison, and rightly goddamn so, because he has been immense this season so far. He has been insane. There are a lot of question marks during pre-season about Jack Harrison. Is he going to fit into the side very well? Is he going to do the business? Has his head been turned? Is he the same player that he once was? Is his goal contributions just papering over the crack for his lack of performances from what people were seeing? However, the second this season started, he has started like a house on fire. He has been all guns blazing like the podcast, and there is nothing that anyone can do to stop him. As they go on to here to look at the Who Scored rating, the only player in the Premier League with a higher Who Scored rating this season is Kevin De Bruyne with an 8.09 compared to Jack Harrison's 7.95. So you got to ask yourself, what more does this man have to do to get into the World Cup side for England? And what more do Leeds need to do to tie him down to a long-term deal? Because he has been insane this year, so he's not going to be going anywhere. But it does look like Dan James could be, if Leeds are to look for another attacker. And that man that Leeds are looking for is this man, Ollie Watkins. Leeds United are apparently very, very keen. According to Give Me Sport, in a recent interview, the CBS Sports journalist Ben Jacobs stated that his belief is that despite a number of reports linking Victor Orta to a move with the Aston Villa centre forward, there is little to suggest that the Whites could be able to get a deal over the line. And now you're looking at me And you're scratching your head. You're thinking, James, why are you telling me this then? Why are you telling me this useless information? Well, it might not be as simple as that, because there are some serious rumblings in the jungle. And I was talking about this the other day to you guys on a previous South Stand signings about the fact that Ollie Watkins and Steven Gerrard may have had a bit of a falling out. There's a lot of tension between the two, and it doesn't look like that personal terms or personal relationships between the two are salvageable at this current moment in time. Therefore, Ollie Watkins is apparently looking for a new club, and the best club that fills the criteria for Ollie Watkins is Leeds United. Obviously, his defensive pressures and his ability to press from the front and the intensity of which he plays would fit him perfectly into a Jesse Marsh side. We saw how intense we were. We were more intense than a straight shot array of nephews on the weekend. Our press is immense. We ran over 11 kilometers more than Chelsea at one point, ended at just over 10. Oh, man, he would be a great signing for Leeds. I don't think he would start, because you're not getting in over Rodrigo Moreno right now, that is for sure. However, I do think he would be a useful asset for Leeds United. And it does look like there could be some serious legs to that one. Now, one that we were looking at earlier on, where the legs have been completely cleaned out, Terry Butcher style, is this one. Leeds United are apparently set to miss out on £12 million attacker to unexpected English rival, obviously Albert Ellis, who we were looking at before, who is apparently very close to joining the Canaries. Norwich. Wow, what a shock move that is. Norwich pulling a real coup out of the bag, apparently, with this one. £12 million signing. It'd be interesting to see how he does over there. Obviously, a lot of fans were actually quite excited at the possibility of Leeds signing him. However, I think £12 million is just slightly too high, and there are better targets that we could be going for. But let me know what you guys think about all these moves down in the comment section down below. But for now, guys, I will see ya very soon. Au revoir, my brothers and my sisters.